That way, let's do it again.
Jesus.
Well, hi, this is my new video. It's called Baby Got Books. I'm here with one of my favorite people ever.
Adam Silvera, hi.
Yeah, he made me sit on this side because he thinks that he has a bad side and a good side. They're identical.
Accurate.
They're identical. Anyway, so now that I'm in my like older and wiser phase of my life, you know, I do a lot of work with authors and with other writers through my company Glasstown, and I really, really love working with writers, and I really love the book community. Books are so much better than real life, especially right now. Right now, I mean, pretty much Game of Thrones is better than the real life we're living through now. At least they have dragons. Yeah. So I'm doing a series, and I'm going to do reviews and also interview authors, and probably not get that much useful information about them because that's not what it's about. But this is all about loving books. So I'm going to ask a series of questions, and I would love to hear from you guys too about whether any of these things have ever happened to you. First of all, what was the first book you remember really falling for?
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. So that means I went 3 books in. Like the first 2 books, I was into them, you know. But Azkaban is the first time I read a book in a single sitting, and it just felt
Azkaban's a good one.
It's
that's
my favorite.
that's when Sirius comes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's good. There's one other like that one, and then definitely not book 5. That's the one where he's emo, right?
Yeah, Order of Phoenix. Yeah.
Ugh,
I love Half-Blood Prince as well.
Yeah,
and
wait, which
the
one is
6th
that?
one.
Oh yeah, the 6th one's great. Yeah.
Where Snape finally betrays
Dumbledore.
God.
Oh my God, no! But it's so tragic. I can't talk about Snape right now. I don't have time. Also, you know what I love that suggests about you? That's real commitment, because you know, like most people like DNF on long emails, and you're like, I'm not sure about this book series, but let me just read the first 2, actually 3 in the series.
You know what it was too? I mean, I was just also growing up at a time where the movies were coming out, so that was always sort of reviving the interest for me. And
way to literally like humble brag about how young you are.
I know.
Though I do actually think it's interesting because it's one of the few book series, most book series, the age that it's targeted to doesn't really shift. Like the character doesn't really grow in time. And Prisoner of Azkaban was a big leap forward in terms of sophistication. Right.
And Goblet of Fire, the 4th one, is especially when it starts getting dark. Azkaban is like the last time where things are like innocent.
Great. We're agreed. Harry Potter's the best, and you're young. Has anything ever embarrassing happened to you because you were distracted by a book?
I actually don't think so.
Okay, that's ridiculous. So
I'm trying to think.
I mean, you've probably missed subway stops and stuff like that. No. Do you know that I once literally was reading so hard at a table that I lit, the tablecloth was on fire?
Oh my God.
It was a paper tablecloth, and it was straight burning towards me. And I kept being like, why does it smell like very close proximity fire in
Why
here?
is my book glowing?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, the lighting changed. And literally, it was ridiculous.
And then you were on fire.
Yeah. Okay, have you ever had any weird interactions with a stranger about a book?
This one time after my first book, More Happy Than Not, came out, that I went back to bookselling for a bit because writing full-time wasn't working for me. And this customer came up and she had my book, and I wasn't going to say, oh, I wrote that.
Oh my God, like, yeah, that's awkward.
And then I was like just ringing her up, and she was like, would you mind also signing this for me?
Oh, well that's good, because otherwise it puts you in a bad position.
Right.
Yeah. Do you know what's really, this is a side note, but do you know the only time in my life I've ever been recognized, not at like a book conference, was on Halloween, which I never even go out on Halloween. The one Halloween 2 years ago where literally the title of my costume that I ordered was Slutty Honey Badger. And I walk into this food festival and somebody's like, Lauren Oliver, and my Slutty Honey Badger head just was like, yeah.
Did you take a photo with them?
No, I was just like a slutty honey badger. I'm not slut shaming. And also honey badgers, you know, they don't give a fuck. You know, they can do whatever, but I'm just saying. Are there like particularly annoying things that customers do? Like come in and be like, what's that book with a character?
Yeah, you know, it's the things that always frustrated me as a bookseller were when customers refused to accept books that they thought were outside the child's gender and everything. Like, you know, really you would have like a book with like a awesome female lead.
Because he worked specifically in a children's bookstore.
Yeah, it was a children's bookstore, Books of Wonder in New York City, and you know, you would have like something with like a kick-ass female character, but it's like, oh, like do something a little more traditionally manly or whatever. So that was always frustrating. You know that there's a child out there like missing out on like great books. You know?
Yeah, and also how do you just be like, wow, you're an asshole?
You can't.
You can't. Yeah. Lose sales that way. That's why I didn't work as a bookseller. Yeah. What's one book that if you saw a dude reading it, you'd be like, I want to date him? Sorry, Keegan. Yeah. It's not gonna happen.
Simon versus Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. You know, like that's a book that speaks so personally to me that I think if I had it 10 years ago, I would have come out way sooner. Like I would have felt more comfortable with my sexuality.
That's
and
really
like it's I'm so happy it exists for teenagers today.
That's really powerful, actually. Books matter, guys, so keep reading and keep reading. It is a great book. It would be so funny if you were like, my own.
Right.
You know?
That would probably
an easy way to Adam's heart. Yeah, exactly. What what author, alive or dead, would you just kidnap misery style?
I mean,
and force them to maybe keep writing even, because that's what they do.
J.K. Rowling, for sure. Like, I would demand that she write, like...
What do you feel about Dumbledore coming out after the fact?
I would have her write that into, like, I mean, I would have her write, like, a prequel series or something, you know, preferably something with, like, with the Marauder era, and so we can see, like, what that dynamic was like, and we can have maybe some, like, on-page Dumbledore gayness, and...
yeah, I want some on-page Dumbledore, like, I'm at Hogwarts sneaking around using this map to get... Yeah, no, I agree, because it's like, how does that even influence his character? Like, you want it to be formative. It can't just be token.
No, and I would also want
JK,
to just,
are
like...
you listening to this?
This
is a great idea. I don't know why you wouldn't be watching this video on a little-known channel about yourself.
I also would just, like, love to, like, ask her so many craft questions, because, you know, she plotted those books for 5 years before even writing the first one.
That's interesting, because I knew that she plotted forever. I didn't know that it was that long. Because there are literally things that are in book, like, 6 that are not referenced from book 1, and then they come to fruition.
Right.
And I was wondering whether sometimes when you write a series, some people write one, forget to plot the rest of it, and then you're just like, oh, shoot. Like, it's like kind of like dumpster diving. You're like, oh, what can I make sense? But I suspect that she did not do it that way. But then it's also hard because things do change when you're writing. I mean, typically things change.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, there were characters who she intended to die who ended up surviving, and she killed other people instead. Yeah,
no, totally. I mean, look, I think the solution is
to kidnap J.K. Rowling.
Well, you know what? I was just thinking now that this is public, maybe we should make public threats.
Right.
I mean, again, because she's definitely watching. Just come, we're cool. Like, have a drink with us, maybe. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, we're awesome. I promise not to kidnap you.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for being here.
Of course, thank
for
you.
Baby Cat Books. You're the best. Oh, good. I'm so glad. I get nervous when I do high fives. They're gonna be bad.
You nailed it.
I know, because I looked at your elbow. Do you know that trick?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, because when I used to literally do high fives when I do this, I was always so nervous. I'd be like...
See, my boyfriend, he goes like...
No, it's too nervous. Yeah, I would be like...
It's like the world's not going to end if we miss.
No, it does. It does.
We'll look like assholes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Wait, let's do it again.
Jesus.
All right, bye.